So, Cam Taylor-Britt opened up recently about his competitive fire. Yeah, that's how we're starting this video off. Um, let's talk about it. He goes ahead and talks about his competitive fire, as in him feeling like he is truly a competitor out there and is playing at a competitive level. He continues by saying great corners can't have roller coaster seasons. You have to stay the same the whole season. And that is true. He definitely had an off season last year. Apparently, a lot of other players on the Bengals are chopping it up to Lou Anarumo's defense is very tough and very hard to master. I say that because the Colts defenders have already come out and said that Lou's defense is really, really amazing and that they love it and they call him the mad scientist. So it's like, we're getting conflicting reports now. Bengals defenders are like, yeah, his defense is like way too complex and way too complicated. And then you have Colts defenders coming out saying, wow, we really love him. He is a mad scientist. We understand why they call him that. So it's a weird circumstance on both sides. Continuing down the line here, he does say, I don't think I played with confidence. Yes, I can go out there and stay hyped and everything, but I hate for someone to catch the ball and think it happened, and I think it happened too many times. Happened too many times, and that's what kind of knocked that confidence down. So, I will say also the defense last year, I mean, no one was playing good. Like, you could sit here and trash Cam Taylor-Britt all you want and say, oh, it's all his fault, but it really isn't. No one was getting after the quarterback. No one was tackling correctly. The secondary had injuries written all over it, with DJ Turner going down for the season, Dax Hill down for the season. Von Bell definitely was not the guy we thought we were getting back. Like, it was just a mess across the board. And I will definitely say I think confidence really went down across the board because of that. But also, you got to remember, Joseph Asai has already opened up and said the defense kind of gave up on the season before the season started. And they didn't really buy in until the end of the season, the last 5 weeks. So, there's nothing positive across the board there. So, I don't really blame Cam Taylor-Britt for not being as confident if the whole defense just felt like they just couldn't do anything right. But at the same time it is your job. And even though, the parts around you might not be working out or might not be going the correct way, at the end of the day, it is your job, and your job is to make sure, things get figured out and things get fixed. So it's a never-ending cycle of crap, I feel like. Continuing a little bit, Geno Stone did give his 2 cents. He says it got a little bit confusing with a few guys, and I feel like that's why sometimes we weren't on the same page. Yeah. Again, more things about Lou's defense, I feel like, to a certain degree. It's also the fact their secondary is very young, and that's another factor, is we have a very young secondary, and they just need play time. They need to play together. They need more time to gel. They need more time to get communication together, and that's just going to come with them playing games. And when players go down with injury, and a player misses a whole season, it doesn't help out in any way. He says, between me and him, I say we have gotten a lot of picks in our career. I feel like he has done the same thing as me. Get that confidence back. Go out there and ball. He does continue. Cam Taylor-Britt says, I need it all. No fear of failure. That's how I play. I was talking to some people, and they were like, where's that fire that Cam played with? And I think that's what I need to play with, man. That fire under me. Well, here's the thing, You really want to be fired up and have that fire under you. If the Bengals threaten to cut you or trade you, players play a lot better when they're threatened to get... No, I'm just kidding. But that is also another factor, is when, your kind of job's on the line, a lot of times players play a lot better just across the board. But at the end of the day, I'm just throwing last season up to a wash at this point and hoping this season's better. We now have Al Golden, which I think is going to be a lot better. We have new positional coaches, which I think will be a lot better. And it's more time for our young secondary to play together and hopefully get better. And as I've always said, it doesn't matter how good your secondary is. If you can't get after the quarterback, your secondary could be the best secondary ever. Doesn't matter. You need to be able to get after the quarterback. You can't have your secondary covering for 20, 30 seconds. Like, you need to be able to get the quarterback on the ground or out of the pocket in some capacity. So, it was a all-around mess last year for our defense, okay? I don't blame one said person. I think there was a issue all the way around. So hopefully this season we can get things figured out and things back on track. But see you guys in the next one, though. Peace.